up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I'm back with a brand new video. Yeah, alrighty guys. So, today's video is going to be a contest entry for AndrewBallina's October / Halloween contest giveaway. Very cool contest, very cool prizes. Basically, he's doing this contest to give, back to the horror community and, and to his current subscribers. Very cool prizes. He's giving away the Killage DVD. It's an Australian-only release. Always been looking forward to seeing that one. And he's giving away a shirt, which he showed in the video, which I will leave a link down below to the video and stuff. So if you haven't entered this contest and you're already subscribed to Andrew, head on over, click that video, watch it, and see what the contest is all about. So so he's giving away a shirt of your choice too. There's like a ton to pick from. Of course, the very first one that he showed in the video, the Maniac shirt, is the one I'm really, really hoping. If I win this contest, that's the one I'd definitely choose because, yeah, for obvious reasons. So he's asking us 3 questions, and yeah, let's get started here. So the first question is, what is one out-of-print or rare horror movie that you wish that you owned? The very first one that comes to my mind is one that you, Andrew, actually do own. We've talked about this many times, and it's Code Red's release at Nightmare. The DVD goes for ridiculous amounts of money, but the reason why I wish I owned that movie is because I regret not picking it up. It's one that I always beat myself up over because I never picked it up. I added that movie to my Amazon cart so many times and just always deleted it because it was just too expensive at the time. Not knowing how ridiculous the prices have gotten. If I'd have known that before, I obviously would have picked it up. But, I didn't want to spend the $25 for it. And I just kept deleting it, and all of a sudden, bam, it's out of print and going for crazy money. So I always regret not picking that one up. Another rare and hard to find, really, really hard to find DVD is the original edition of Clown House. That's one that I've always been after for a long time. I've come across it a couple times, like on eBay or whatever, but it goes just ridiculous prices, so just too much, way too high for me. Another movie that I wish that I owned in my collection is Splatter University, the original or edition of that one. There was another one that I put off getting, and then, of course I put it off too long and it went out of print, and it's just too expensive for me now. And the last one that I'll mention is the Anchor Bay double feature of The Pit and Hellgate. I love the movie The Pit. I don't even have a bootleg copy of it, which is such a shame. It's such a great movie. But I've always wanted that double feature. I'm not a big fan of double features, but, I will definitely take that if I ever find it. So, yeah, those are some rare, hard, out-of-print films that I've been looking for. The second question that you were asking us was, what is one horror movie you've never seen before that you plan to watch this October? I do have a couple, and I'm going to actually mention one right off the top here. This came out a little bit ago, and it finally got released on Blu-ray. And I knew I'd end up watching it this month, and I did. I watched it actually last night. I just thought I'd throw this one in there, but I recently watched VHS 2. And I really fucking enjoyed this, man. I thought it was really well done. I personally liked it better than the first one. I thought the stories on here were really well done, really gritty, pretty cool shit. Just fucking violent too, man. Like, really well done, though. I thought Jason Eisner's story, the guy that directed Hobo with a Shotgun, he did the last story in here, was really creepy, really well done. But yeah, this is one that I was planning on watching this month, and I did, so I just thought I'd mention that. Next up is a Lamberto Bava film from 1986 called Midnight Killer. I've never seen this movie. I plan on watching it this month because I will be posting up my Lamberto Bava, theme week probably sometime later in the month here. So this is going to be one of the films that I'm going to be watching for that week. And it's a slasher film. It's pretty... I know this one goes by a couple different names, actually. I can't quite think of them off the top of my head, but, I've never really heard much about it, and I've always been curious on Lamberto Bava's, other slasher films that he's done. So, yeah, looking forward to watching Midnight Killer, and I thought I'd mention this, too, because I've only ever seen the first 2 films in this box set, but the Coffin Joe collection. This consists of, 9 films. I've watched At Midnight, I Will Take Your Soul, and This Night I Will Possess Your Corpses. The first two films in a trilogy, and the third one was Embodiment of Evil that came out on Synapse Films a couple years back on Blu-ray. But the other films that are in here, The Strange World of Coffin Joe, The Awakening of the Beast, End of Man, The Strange Hostel of Naked Pleasures, Hellfish Flesh, Hallucinations of a Deranged Mind, and The Strange World of Mocha. I think that's actually a documentary. I think the last one is actually a documentary. But, yeah, I think the last one. But I've never actually watched any of the other films on this, so I've been planning to watch these, and what a better month, than to check out the Coffin Joe films than, October. So, yeah, so looking forward to checking those out. And the last question was, what is 5 of your favorite slasher films? Yeah, slasher films being my favorite subgenre. There's so many slasher films that I love. I mean, I did a top 30 video, like a year ago that I still get comments on. But my favorites change. I mean, like I said, like you can make a top 10 list, but it's probably going to change within 2 or 3 months or 5 months down the road, which it always does. So the way I grab these ones tonight is, these are 5 of my favorite slasher films. They're in no particular order, except for, one of them. I chose these ones because they're the first ones that came to my mind. So, but the first one I chose is actually a relatively newer slasher film, and I always forget the year. I always think this is 2011. 2010's Blood Junkie. I talked about this movie a million times. I love this film. It's low budget. I just love the premise of this film. I love the setting, and the director did a good job with this, for having no budget, did a really good job. Released by Troma. Yeah, it's a throwback 80s style horror, or slasher, that, really does work. I love this film. It just feels like an 80s film. It really does. So, one of my favorites. Next up is, I know you're not a fan of this film, but it's one of my all-time favorites, and it's a film that I watch all the time, is Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. When I think of favorite slasher films, this always comes to mind right off the top of my head. So, yeah, it's just a fun film. I think it's fantastic. Next up is probably, these next 3 probably could actually be in order. And, Intruder. I love the setting of this film. I know you're a big fan of this film too, Andrew. The setting alone gets me. I love the grocery store setting. I love looking at all, when they're walking through the cereal aisle and looking at all the cereals. They look so good on Blu-ray too. But the kills in this film are just fantastic. It's just a fun fucking slasher film. From 1989, which is, it's right after, the height of slashers and stuff. It's such an amazing one to come out in, in the later 90s, or the later 80s. My cap goes off to these guys, that made this film. So, Scotty Spiegel that directed this film did such a fucking great job. It's an awesome movie. So much replay value. I've watched that Blu-ray. It's one of my most watched Blu-rays in my entire collection. And another one of the Blu-rays in my collection I've watched so many fucking times is My Bloody Valentine. It's probably my second favorite slasher film of all time. I think this movie's great. It's a fantastic Canadian slasher film, shot on location in a real mine. For the people out there that have never seen this, I recently reviewed this on my 81 series this year, so I don't really want to get too much into it. But alone, I'm really glad that they put the cut footage back into this film. It really helps. The kills are fantastic. I love the story. I love the look of the killer. I love the characters in this film. It's a great film. And of course, this is no surprise, but my favorite slasher film of all time is Maniac, and this was the first edition in my room that I came across, or that I saw, so I just grabbed the tin off the shelf. I have like 10 different editions, but Maniac, Frank Zito, creepy, the kills in this movie are awesome. I love the atmosphere, I love the story of this film. Everything about Maniac is amazing. And I've got to say, I'm really, really looking forward to watching the Maniac remake. I've heard nothing but good things, and you know what? That's another one I can add to my October list, because I will be picking up the Blu-ray shortly, and I think it gets released on the 15th here, so that is one that I'm going to purchase and definitely be watching in October, so it's another one. But yeah, so that's it for the questions. I hope that works, Andrew. Yeah, once again, Awesome contest, buddy. I really enjoy the idea of just, giving back to your subscribers and the people in the horror community, just, showing love. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it didn't go on too long. But anyways, once again, your boy Moon616 signing off. Peace out.